was sure you'd be coming up.
This is 2001's redistricting on behalf of the state of Utah. Just set it there.
Use Mike.
I don't even know where to begin. David Clark. I am a legislator from District 74. I also happen to be the Speaker of the House. I was elected in 2000. My district in Washington County was about 60,000 people. The district where the state capitol sits in that same year had 19,000 people, had not grown from the 90 census over that decade. The one-man, one-vote principle that the census brings forth, I represented 66,000 people with one vote, 19,000 with one vote. The purpose of redistricting is to equalize that. Very simple math, but it's complex geography. I'm going to touch on why I don't think this solves what they want to do. And I begin with here, I want to issue to you people, anybody bought a car without a test drive? We have the census, we have the information. I'd be very curious to have them apply this to that information and come out with and demonstrate how and where it would be different. They talk about, so we won't use political information. We don't use political information. There is nothing in the state that does it. In fact, we purposely leave that information off. It is not on any state computer. It is not on any mapping. It is not on any of the redistricting. It says behind closed doors and political people to do this. The legislative process is an open process. I'm astonished that they think that this isn't done. Speaking like there is 4 flat tires on this car, and I just want you to know that is not, absolutely not the case. And preaching what you're preaching, I hope that you will be a little more honest and forthright. We do not use political information in dividing that up. I want to re-emphasize that again, and I hope that they will change the story. They keep saying no political information. Well, that's exactly what takes place today. I don't know if that's fair, right, or wrong when you're in the majority of the party, but we do not. It is not on the state computers at all. It is not closed door. I don't think you have independence in this process when you have political appointees.
He was the second person to ask us to do a sample run on what this might do. The other one was a Democratic senator from Salt Lake County. And the concern, I think, of all of the incumbents is they want to see what this sample will look like, to see how many of them are going to be drawn into similar districts.
Not true.
It's my turn. It's my turn to speak now. You had about 10 minutes here. Now it's my turn again. Okay? Your comment that in nowhere do you take into account when you're drawing the boundaries and the locations of all the legislators. But when you place nothing but legislators on the redistricting commission, they all know where they live, and they know where their friends live. It doesn't have to be in the database to be able to help out your friends. It is obvious from the last redistricting that is exactly what happened, and I understand where you're coming from. This is your power base, and you want to protect it, and I respect you for it. But I think what we're trying to bring to the public is that it's not the best way to do things. It's not good government. It creates inherent conflicts of interest within our state. We're making you the poster boy for bad government here when you draw your own legislative district. Let's take that out of your hands and give it to an independent commission.
I object that there's no, I'm going to stand up just a second, because you said you challenged my personal ethics here.
That I have a vested interest, in some reason that I am corrupt in this process, and I'm going to violate the principles by which, when I stood up and I swore that I would uphold the Constitution of the state of Utah, and I had a chance to swear in all 74 of my other members. It is absolutely appalling to me. Let me go back and take two key principles here. We start looking at this population map in here, and we start talking about geography. Let's talk about Salt Lake County. Well over 1 million people. There's a 500,000 people already new in the state from the year 2000, as I read the Salt Lake and the Tribune and Deseret News a week ago on populations. Do you know how many new people are in Salt Lake City, our capital city? It's virtually flat. They're going to lose 2 House members on a one-man, one-vote principle. Where's it going to go? It's going to absolutely move out Harriman. Daybreak was not even there. That's not politics. That is simple math and geography that's taking place. Now to think that we're going to create some kind of heinous plan here, I mean, it isn't the fundamentals. There's a lot of case law, there are a lot of guidelines, there's a lot of structure. We follow the law in the state of Utah. And to try and demonize this process in some way is somewhat concerning to me.
And to me, $1 million.
I have a $10.5 billion.
Let me finish my sentence.
I don't have
Let
2
me
minutes
finish
to
my
represent.
sentence.
$1 million today is.
Do you always interrupt, or do you let people finish their points?
You're asking us to accept responsibility and trust someone to fulfill our responsibility. That isn't going to happen. We're going to do exactly what we have always done, and we're going to come up with. And if these are the rules by which the people of the state of Utah say we'll
Voters can actually compare a nonpartisan drawn map with your map and make a decision. Are these guys really doing the job we elected them to do, or are they just protecting their own seats? How many incumbents were redistricted into the same district after the last redistricting?
Well, I can just, like I said right now, the numbers right there say that.
How many incumbents were drawn into the same district?
There'll be something like 6 to 8. There'll be more this time.
There will be more this time.
And tell me that we're more transparent than how I create the property tax, how I create this public education system in the state of Utah, how I create the criminal laws, all of those things.
The transparent process of the state legislature that a couple of years ago strong-armed innumerable representatives to vote for the voucher bill that was then overturned by the population. That's the transparency you're claiming exists in the state legislature?
I'm going to stand up and talk about this. I think the voucher was probably the greatest, in my adulthood, the greatest democracy in action that I have seen. I will tell you, as on the House floor, I did not see any strong whatsoever. And speak to who you want. People that are former educators will tell you the very sense that whether you select to leave the legislation, but I don't know. We keep coming back to this, but apparently.
And at the end of the day, if we get this on the ballot, we'll be able to fight it in the 2010 election. And we'll all be able to get up in front of the public, and they will make their decision. And that's all we're asking right now. Let's get this on the ballot, and we'll vote on it in November of 2010. All we're asking you to do is put it on the ballot and let the voters decide.
True transparency.
True transparency. That's exactly.
True transparency.
True transparency.
I have no matrix. I don't know what the definition means. But sign this on, put it on the ballot. That's true transparency. That is a wrongful definition.
Is there anyone else before we wrap things up tonight?
I'm sorry, you were standing for something.
I was standing, but you kept talking, so I'll leave my comments aside.
All right, well, thank you all for coming tonight. I think this is an outstanding meeting.